DST means daylight saving time. It's a really annoying thing that shifts the time zone back and forth 1 hour in various countries around the world, including Israel, which is the country in which I reside. Now, you see, when I started this training program with a rigid schedule, doing it at exactly the same time of day each week, I decided to do it by local time and not by universal time, because I particularly wanted to avoid having a different timetable for each half of the year. I thought to myself that the DST thing is not my fault, that I don't have to have two different timetables because of it. It ideally it wouldn't exist, but it wasn't me who put it there, so why should I suffer because of this? But then, as I kept doing my workouts, I was sometimes given the idea that my workouts are calculated by the organization according to universal time after all, and not by local time. And since 3 weeks after I started my program, the time zone shifted because of DST, I was convinced that those first 3 weeks were discarded. So according to universal time, I'm actually doing 3 weeks less than what I am doing by local time. And yesterday, when I posted the video in which I said that according to my most recent calculations and most reliable ones thus far, and what I actually think, the meeting should happen at least on March 17th. But this is based on universal time. And now I am being given the idea, mostly by the AI that controls the UN website, that they now count the local time and not just the universal time. So that would make the calculation 3 weeks earlier, and exactly 3 weeks earlier than March 17th is actually February 25th, which means the day after tomorrow, meaning that there might be some meeting after the workout that I'm going to do in the day after tomorrow. And this which would be great if I'm going to be set free with 3 weeks earlier than I thought. But it does bring this annoying uncertainty, because you see, all my sources information of information when about how long I'm supposed to do the training program for something to happen. They say absolutely nothing about time zones. So now I don't know what to expect. A meeting this week or in 3 weeks. I just don't know because I don't I don't have the precise information about whether they are counting the local time or universal time or both. Now, the UN contact page, which is controlled by the AI, today it was suggesting to me that they do count the local time, although the time zone shifted. Uh, but but the AI, you see, I don't know how much can it be trusted. It could be lying. It could be. It wouldn't be the first time it lied. It has previously lied to me, tried to deceive me into doing 4 and 52. Uh, And that means that this thing, it's a liar and it cannot be trusted. It doesn't always lie. Sometimes it tells the truth and sometimes it lies. That's the problematic matter about this thing. You cannot for sure cannot know how much can it be trusted, but basically you can't trust it because it does lie. Sometimes it lies and sometimes it tells the truth. There is absolutely not knowing no knowing whether it lies or tells the truth when other sources of information are not available. Well, to be honest, the Emma Watson account that has been posting on my YouTube sort of suggested that a meeting may happen this week, but they could be lying also. So, because of this time zone difference, there is this annoying uncertainty, and the only way to know for sure is just to wait and see. I'm going to have to be as prepared as I can for a meeting this week, and if it doesn't happen this week, then it would be in 3 weeks. But you know, there was actually another thing. You see, in the movie Shazam, and I do think that there is a grain of truth in movies, especially superhero movies. When this bad guy, the Thaddeus Sivana, tried to open the door to the wizard, he said that he was convinced all those years that his sequence was wrong. But in fact, that sequence was supposed to be repeated 7 times, and only then the door would open. Now, this March 17th, according to Universal Time, or this week according to local time, is really just one repetition of the sequence. I'm aware of, indeed, a 7-time repetition of the sequence that I'm talking about. It's very similar to the movie Shazam. And what else? I've been told about the number 97, that only when I reach that number I would meet with the organization and I would not know what to expect, only then I would be given counsel. And incidentally, the 7-time repetition also aligns with the number 97. So it's kind of the idea. It's kind of the idea that the meeting may only happen after I repeat the fucking sequence 7 times and not just after one time. And repeating it for 7 times would take about 2.5 years. That means another 2.5 years without freedom, without money, without movies, and knowing that at any moment the evil creature can attack my body again for whatever stupid reason it decides. It's insane. Either freedom or money, at least one of them I would like to receive sooner and not later. Well, at least that's not 30 years, but still 2.5 years without freedom and without money and without movies too is a long time. Now, there's a chance that if I complete one like the sequence just once before I complete it for 7 times, that they'd send me some woman, but not allow me to meet with the organization. And to be honest, it would be kind of frustrating because dating a woman, knowing that the creature controls my body, knowing that I can date a woman and even have sex with her, and at any moment the creature would begin twitching my legs or stimulating my ankles. It would be so embarrassing and frustrating. It would be a nightmare knowing that my first experience with a woman would be ruined by that evil thing. I really, really hope that when I begin dating with women, that the creature will be out of my life. It would be intolerable having my first experiences with women ruined by that evil thing. Anyway, I really don't know what to expect now. I don't have the exact information, but I have key points. You see, key points. Key point number 1 is this week. Key point number 2 is in 3 weeks, and key point number 3 is the 7-time repetition of this sequence, which will happen in about 2.5 years. But that's also slightly confusing because if nothing happens either this week or in 3 weeks, even that 7-time repetition, I don't know whether I should calculate it by local time or universal time. That fucking DST, I'm telling you, that fucking DST, it brings so much unnecessary confusion. I really wish that DST stupid thing didn't exist.